Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday, February 5th, 2014. You're listening to FAWMtalk. I'm your host, Ianuarius, and with me, the wonderful TC Elliott. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I overslept a bit. It was till 11:30, and then I woke up. But I've been having the most horrible nights of the last few nights, so I'm glad I could finally catch some sleep.
Right. It's FAWM. You're not supposed to sleep.
Oh no, but I haven't been farming either. I mean, I did that one song, and now I'm feeling like I don't feel that challenged. I did that one track, and that was really something I wanted to do, and now I'm just wondering if I should do something more, maybe.
Oh, the self-doubt in FAWM. You can't do that. You have to just soldier on.
I guess. It was always a good idea to maybe just start recording something.
Yeah, you can't wait for inspiration. You have to go after it with a club.
Well, speaking of inspiration, let's listen straight away something from Boone. Or, I don't know if you want to say like Boone, maybe it's just B00N. Oh, let's call him Boone. So this one is called
right.
Mug Full of Java.
It seems early in the morning, it's noon. My tongue feels like a ferret, and my mind feels like a spoon. But you get over with a mug full of Java. It seems it took ages to pick me up, to pour the streaming cure into my special cup. 'Cause you know you get over with a cup full of Java. Lily always told me, be careful with that girl. She's reckless with another people's hearts. Lily always told me, but it hurts to see she's right. Told me, be careful with that girl. She's reckless with another people's hearts. Lily always told me, but it hurts to see she's right. Seems early in the morning, it's noon. My tongue feels like a ferret, and my mind fits like a spoon. But you get over with a mug full of Java.
There you have it, folks. Mug Full of Java by Boone. One of the FAWMlings this year.
I like that guitar. That was cool.
Oh, absolutely. Super sweet soloing. People are telling me that my mic is clipping, so I turned it down. But the thing is, we're still struggling with the levels. I mean, you guys, the chat room, you are the producers. You have to tell us if anything is out of bounds. And really, since yesterday, people were telling that your voice was a little bit louder than mine. So I tried to compensate with turning my mic up, but obviously that went south fast.
Well, that's good to know. I can actually adjust mine too, so we'll work through it.
Yeah.
Make sure it's all perfect before the end of the month. How's that? Good goal?
Sounds like a plan.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely fantastic guitars there, and soloing is something that warms my heart. I like those little seventh chords. I always try to add them to my own tracks, but I'm such a rock guy that they always just turn to power chords.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about when we actually started recording the first time. Now, when I was a kid, I used to do a lot of recording, and there was this thread on the forum about 4-track cassette collaboration. I started by stand-up. Is telling that there's a list of people who have 4-track recorders, and we mail cassettes all over the world, Europe, US, and Australia. And you get a cassette tape in the mail, and you add track to what's there, and you mail it on, or take a blank cassette, record something on track 1, and mail it out. And whoever gets a tape with 3 tracks full adds the last track, mixes the song, and posts the results. So that, to me, sounded like a fantastic idea. And my dad used to have a 4-track recorder, but I really don't have one myself now. And it's kind of a shame. I really sort of wanted to do that challenge.
Yeah, it was looking really interesting to me too. I had, when I started, I had a Tascam Porta 2 cassette recorder, and I may still have it somewhere. The problem was the fast forward and reverse band in it broke like 12 years ago, and I never got the proper replacement part, so I was using things like tight rubber bands and stuff trying to fix it, and of course it never lasted very long at all. And so I gave up on the cassette recorder a long time ago, and I have no idea what I did with it. I don't know if I gave it away, which sounds familiar, or if it's under a pile of clothes or what.
Yeah, my dad had this really cheap 4-track recorder, and it was okay. He used to. It was kind of finicky to maneuver, and he used to like super glue some Lego pieces to it to make it easier to turn the knobs. And what I used to do, I really wanted to make some super cool songs with it, but of course that never happened because we recorded like a click track on one of the tracks on it, and then tried recording drums to the remaining 3 tracks, then bouncing the drums to one track and recording stuff over the other ones. But the thing is, the speed on the cassette really started. It wasn't like fixed speed. It slowed down a bit and like turned faster in some parts. So it was just super hard trying to record anything over it because the parts weren't in sync perfectly.
That is crazy.
Yeah, luckily now we have the digital things like Reaper, and everything just goes just the way you want it to go.
At all times.
Never
no
any
problem.
problems.
Exactly. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, we used to. I listened to a lot of radio back in the day when the Finnish radio actually was any good. So I wanted to do my own radio show, like we're doing right now. So
it's a dream come true.
Yeah, absolutely. And my dad was, of course, he always loved my project, so he just said, "Oh, fine, we'll do our own radio show." Of course, didn't broadcast it anywhere, but we just took in tape and we talked about some things, and I interviewed him as we played like he was one of the Finnish sports superstars. I interviewed him. Then we played some tracks from my CDs. That was all super fun. But you can't really do that sort of things unless you have children.
Right. Just for the excuse.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think he enjoyed it even more than me.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Let's listen to something a little bit more moody. I think I really enjoyed this one. It's one from Masno. It's called "Still I Am Here." This is a little bit moody, but super awesome atmosphere in this track. Let's take a listen.
Winter is a cage for me. Even though there are no bars for me to say, still I am here. Still I am here to find you. Winter is no place for me. My skin dies and my soul is trapped in absurdity. Well, still I am here. Still I am here to find you. Still I am here. Still I am here to love you. Still I am here.
That's the stuff.
Yeah, you were right. It's moody, but good.
Fantastic sounds. I love those. That sort of delay and how he plays with the delay, like keeps adding things over the delay and playing along it. Just fantastic.
Yeah, and I like it a little more stripped down, so it really conveys the emotion. But like you said, it's still interesting. It still keeps the interest throughout the song.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is the vocals, how they like soar to the music, and there's an interesting melody there. It's not just like your basic scale runs, but it was going a little bit jumping all over the place, and not in a distracting way, but really artistic. It was like singing over the music or into the music. And that's what I do a lot, just listen to the music and try to go with it. And feel what the music does and sing with the music. That's what I think Masno just absolutely nailed there. Fantastic job.
Yeah, I agree. The lyric, the vocals, and the music all combined together. So works really well together.
Yes. I don't know really when I started first recording with digital. Was it maybe when I moved on my own? It should have been, yeah. We always did recording with my father, and we still do whenever I visit him. I bring my guitar, and he's a fantastic drum player. He always liked Jethro Tull and all sort of jazz stuff, like. Let's see here. I remember him listening a lot of John Zorn and the Naked City. I always loved the tracks like Batman. Really like they had these childish melodies that really grab your attention, no matter how old you are. And then they have just really bizarre solos that go all over the place. I don't even think they knew what notes they were playing, but might be wrong. They're just virtuosic jazz players.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't start really recording. I had that cassette recorder, and before that, I used the home stereo cassette recorder with a little cheap Radio Shack mic plugged into it, and recorded. Like I remember when I was down in Texas, and some neighborhood kids were just the two of them were almost beatboxing, rapping type of thing, and I recorded for them on a blank cassette and gave it to them. Completely low quality everything, and then I got that Porta 2 tape deck, and I remember recording a guitar part and then singing over it and going, I don't like the vocals, I'll mix them down, and of course they're dead even with the guitar, and I couldn't hear them for anything. And it was that awakened the whole, wait a minute, there's something to this. And then in 2007 I got a Boss BR900 all-in-one digital recorder, and so that's when I went digital. And I've got 5 songs I recorded just to get them down, and they are really not very good as far as the recording quality. Like the levels are super, super low. The balance is off. I mean, it was just you can hear the fumbling on the tape, so to speak. And then from there, I hit FAWM 08 was my first FAWM. Wow. And if it wasn't for that, I couldn't record at all, because it forces you to put it together and get it down.
Absolutely, yes. That's what FAWM is good for. It's you hear your tracks and then you go just, oh my god, what did I do? And then you have to start reading and find videos about how to make these sound listenable.
Yeah.
So the first things
Definitely.
we did try recording some songs with just doing drums and guitar and whatever, and they never turned out any good. It just sounded horrible. Everything was super muffled, and there was a ton of that lower mid-range in the drums and bass, and you know how it goes. It just keeps adding the lower middle range to the song, the middle frequencies.
Yep.
And it just you couldn't tell anything. Then on my solo guitars, my very first fantastic solos, there was this really stingy, tiny little guitar sound that just pierced through your skull. And you can pierce through skulls in a good and a bad way, and that was definitely not one of the better ones.
Right. So do you still have your tracks saved, and do you listen back to remember the good old days?
I think there's somewhere. Probably a lot of them were saved on cassette tapes, and I don't really have any cassette players at the moment. It's sort of disappearing from the surface of the earth. But some of them are saved somewhere. I think so. Yes.
I too just gave away my cassette player that I hadn't used in a couple of years to a fellow FAWMer, actually, Talking Dogs, who I don't think is participating this year, but was going to school here in town. So just about a month ago. So I too have a box of cassettes of recordings and various things, and band practices and whatnot, that are just sitting there useless.
Yeah. Let's see here. What do we got? We have one song we actually meant to play yesterday was from Isaac Blue, but we never got around to it. We had too much to discuss about yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
So let's shut up for a moment and listen to something from something made by Isaac Blue. It's called Don't Call Me Crazy.
I never should have opened up and said all the things that were running through my head. 'Cause you didn't want to listen to the things I had to say. You just gave me your opinion and turned away. Don't call me crazy. I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy, no I'm not. Don't call me crazy. I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy, no I'm not. The box is open, there's no going back. You're aware of all the things you think I lack. And you don't want to hear any other point of view. You'll never listen to me like I listen to you. Don't call me crazy. I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy, no I'm not. Don't call me crazy. I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy, no I'm not. Don't call me crazy. I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy, no I'm not. Don't call me crazy. I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy, no I'm not. Don't call me crazy. I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy, no I'm not. Don't call me crazy.
Oh, there we go. Isaac Bloom, Don't Call Me Crazy. Another fantastic song. And I was talking about this earlier, but I really like those 80s type of synth songs, and this has a similar type of sound, but it's not really playing any synth sounds. There was a little bit of that synth bass at the end, but not really that many synth sounds. Mainly, I think the sound is coming from the guitars and the reverb in the guitars. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's another song that it's not as sparse as the earlier song, but it's still not completely full. But I agree completely that the way the sound builds is really kind of cool, and adding that layer of like you said in the bass, or having a synth sound as a pad or something that backs up, is something I've been trying to do a little bit more of, and of course failing miserably. But that I think works really well on that song.
It's really weird. There wasn't really any sort of synth pad there. I was trying to listen, like, how does he make that sound? But it was really just a reverb. And there was one verse at the end there that really didn't have any. There was the beat, and then I think there was like a low bass, not synth bass, but like a regular bass playing underneath there, and then the vocals. And that's a super sparse arrangement, as far as I'm concerned.
No, it is, and it's interesting to see how, like conventional wisdom or whatever says that you should be building energy through your song, but this would be another good example where a change in dynamics doesn't necessarily mean it starts at one level and goes to a higher level at the end. It can be, and actually it's more interesting if you can vary it within the song, as long as it makes sense in that song.
Yeah.
But I really liked on that one. I just wanted to just say I really like the vocal melody and the lyric, but the way he goes down all the way throughout it, just that really appealed to me right off.
The one sort of shortcoming I have is that I never really listen to lyrics. I can't. I start to listen to music and start to like feel the music, and like with that song, I just start to like wave with the music and get into the emotion of it. And I have no idea what he's saying. At one point I realized, okay, so he's singing "Don't Call Me Crazy" right here, which was the title of the song. So that kind of caught my attention at one point. But other than that, I have no idea what that song was all about.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on FAWM. Sometimes that happens to me as well. I try a little harder to continue to listen to the lyric and kind of make it all at once, but it's easy to be distracted by an element that you like, especially when you're in the middle of writing and recording. The advantage of FAWM is that usually there is a lyric right in front of me. So while I'm listening, I can kind of read along and kind of in my second brain, so to speak, listen to the groove or the music or what have you. So
Yeah.
it's interesting how you can listen differently to different songs too. So
Yeah. And that's how I write mainly too. I don't really think about lyrics as so much as what I want to say. I mean, there's an element to it, and like I want to convey this sort of story. But mainly, I just how I start every line is, well, what kind of words do I want to use, or what sounding words do I want to use? Like this word sounds really cool, and it sounds really fun with this instrument underneath here. So I start by that, and then I go with, well, how can I use this word then? What can I say with this word? So it's kind of, I think it's sort of a backwards way of doing things compared to like many people just write the lyrics first and then start thinking about the music.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept, and I think it's worth exploring the sounds of the lyric and the voice as purely an instrument combined with the other arrangement that you use, the other instrument. But on the other hand, most people out there listening want the lyric to make sense and
Yeah.
try to get a story out of it. So
Those
so it's
bastards.
kind of yeah, dang them.
Yeah, and I don't really consciously think about that, but as I think it now, as I think backwards, that's how I do things. That's just how I function.
It's a good concept. I like it.
Yeah. Well, we're running out of time here. Time is always against us in FAWMtalk. So we would, of course, have a lot more things to say about recording and these wonderful songs we listened, but we're gonna have to start wrapping this party up. So,
Yeah.
it is Wednesday. Damn. So we'll be returning tomorrow, of course, in the same time tomorrow, and I hope that many of you can join us then.
Yes. I was happy with the songs today. It was a good show, and I hope that we have lots and lots of millions and millions of listeners.
Yes, millions. Okay, we're gonna end this cast with a song by humble composer, a very humble composer. And it's a song called "My Own Self-Portrait." So that's gonna wrap things up. And thanks for listening. I hope to see many of you guys in the chat room back tomorrow.
How many times have I spoken to you, you who I've never seen? How many times on my knees, knees are meant for kneeling? How many lowlands I've ever lived, and Poetry for paintings in the face of their own recognition, in the face of their own recognition. My own self-portrait, the truth can be a lie. My own self-portrait, I crossed the line too many times. In my own self-portrait, I lie naked on the bed. In my own self-portrait, I loved you, my love, till the end. How much wisdom is left to whine in the face of you? We are all of beauty and a piece of beautiful. How many times have I come to you, the maiden, self-maiden, with my hands for praying, to keep myself from breaking, to keep myself from breaking. My own self-portrait, the truth can be a lie. In my own self-portrait, I crossed the line too many times. In my own self-portrait, lay naked on the bed. In my own self-portrait, I loved you, my love. I've been asked to come for wine and conversation down the street, where God and beauty meet, where God and beauty meet. In my own self-portrait, the truth can be a lie. In my own self-portrait, I crossed the line too many times. In my own self-portrait, I lie naked on the bed. In my own self-portrait, I loved you till the end. How many times have I spoken to you? You who I've never seen.